Hey guys, Bill Cimentel from the BBZ TV. As you can probably hear in the background, I got blown off cast tank today, and in doing so, I guess I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a secret. We have the new SPRO BBZ-1 6-inch saltwater baits. Now these baits come in one sink rate. They're the slow sink. They fall approximately a foot every second to second and a half, maybe even 2 seconds, depending on the salinity of the salt water you're fishing and also the thickness of the monofilament you're using. The thinner it is, the faster it falls, the thicker, the slower. So I've been asked, are you guys going to do some different weight systems? And at this time we're not, but I'm going to show you something absolutely top secret in my garage, what I do to build baits. And I'm going to show you how to customize your 6-inch BBZ-1 to make a super fast sink and an extra super fast sink. With some simple tools. We're going to go over the tools. I'm going to build one for you. I'm going to show you how I weight it, how I seal the system, how I use it, some of the equipment I'm using it on, and hopefully when you guys go out and get some of these, if you want some really custom baits. So we're going to go over some tools right here that I'm using to build this, and we'll get into it. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this. This is, like I said, this is one of my things I do in my garage, and I'm passing on to you guys here at the BBZ. So first of all, here's some of the stuff I use. Okay, so some of the tools you're going to need. You're going to need some tape, and I like using the painter tape because what happens is after you drill a hole in it and you weight the system, if you ever drop your lure and it's full of little BB shots and they go all over the garage floor, you'll understand where that comes in. The sealing system of gluing it and everything else, you can check this out on the website. It's called Lightning Bond. There is actually a website right here. It's drmikesglue.com, and I use this a lot, especially in conjunction with the Pro Soft Bait glue. This stuff is a must-have for custom lure designers and just tinkering around the house. Pair of dikes. I have a handful of 6-inch BBZ-1 saltwater baits. These are all slow sink models. They're the only ones that come in. We got a drill. I have my scale system. I have size 9 shot for shotgun shells. This is really easy for adding weight to lure systems, but there's a trick to this in putting it in. Here's a super trick to it. If you guys go to Home Depot, you're going to see stuff called the Hillman push fasteners. And basically fender fasteners and stuff. This is a really simple, quick way to plug a hole in your baits and make them watertight sealed. So I'm going to show you how to use these. We got a Mark Slap pin, and that's about it. And we're going to talk about some of the rods I'm using right now that are absolutely beautiful, and I need rods that are dual function for freshwater and saltwater. And I picked up a couple Daiwa Zillions, the 400 Lexus and the Zillion big bait rods, and I'm telling you, these are crazy combos, especially with 25-pound max or braid if you like. So let's get to it, and we'll start walking through the things, and I'll show you what I'm doing to build a custom weighted swim bait. Okay, first thing we're going to do is the basic weights. When you turn on your scales, you don't even need scales, guys. This is just an easy way of doing it. I got to change my battery pretty quick because I have it zeroed out. The baits weigh about right around 2.25 ounces. So we're set at that. What we're going to do on this is we are setting this up for doing a 2-ounce bait. I'm going to do a 4-ounce bait. I'm going to do a 6, you know, the heavier Tatty 45s and stuff, so I can work unbelievable water column in the ocean with that. I actually pre-weighted 2 ounces of number 9 shot. It's going to weigh a little bit heavier because I didn't zero out the container. The container is about 2.85, but that's 2 ounces of extra weight. And then we have the plugs, the push fasteners, and here's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do, the front part of the baits are hollow inside. I try to go dead center in the middle of it. Make sure you don't drill through your hand. Okay. So drill a little hole in it. That opens up the cavity on the front side. Here's the cool part. Now, when you fill this up, you know, it's going to take a little while to put the BBs inside this hole, so I might have to go fast forward on this a little bit. Just be real careful. Get all the BBs that you want in it. You can weight it any weight you want. You could fill it up all with lead. I like doing lead no higher than the center line of your bait, because it's going to track truer. Once it gets above that, your killing system, the bait's going to roll more in the water. I have done stuff where you just drill the hole and you let it fill up with water. That's a quick man's fix out. Okay, that's the last one. First thing you want to do after this, trust me, I've already spilt a ton of them. Take just a little piece of tape, put over the top of it. That way the BBs won't fall out. Okay, now this bait was around 2 ounces before. Now we're going to weigh it. And now we're looking at a 4-ounce bait. So now I've just increased it 2 ounces. So that's step one. So now I've gone from a slow sink to a fast sink, a little bit faster than a fast sink. This thing's going to probably drop a foot every half a second, 3/4 of a second, depending on how I position now the lead in that head. Now watch this. So here's the trick to it. Let me turn this off. Okay, so when you put weight in this, the further the weight is back in the body, it's going to fall more, just more horizontal down. As we tilt this bait forward and we shake the head a little bit, I'm going to position the lead so it's more forward nose drop, because if you use 25-pound test line, you're going to actually have a loop in that line, and that line creates friction, so when it drops, it'll drop a little bit more horizontal. If you ever weight a bait like this and you put line on it, it could fall like that. So I want this bait now to drop in the water column nose first. It'll give it a faster descent, and it's going to track true. Problem is, it's full of lead shot that can move back and forth. This is where the magic comes in. So we're going to get this lightning bond. And what this is, it's a filler. And it's like, picture it just granulated concrete. And we're going to open up this hole, and we're going to lay a pile of this stuff. I'm going to put a pretty good amount of filler inside this. And what that's going to do, that is going to go between all the little BBs down there, and it's going to actually lock it in, and I'm going to make one solid piece of lead with the lightning fill and using the lightning bond, the glue that goes in there. Once the glue goes in there, it's going to lock it up. So you hear all that rattling from all the little BBs. Put that in there. We're going to put some bond on top of it. You can see how it's just real fine powder. That's all it is. Once the glue touches it, it turns into like a filler, a concrete filler. So I'm going to position it. I want the bait to be about nose down like that, because when I drop my line and give it slack, I want this bait to just fire down to the bottom. I don't care if it's 20 foot of water or 50 or 100. The more inverted it is, the faster it's going to go to the bottom, and the truer it's going to track. Do that. I'm going to pick up my lightning bond glue, put that in there, and I'm going to put a couple squirts in there. And what happens is, now that glue, when it hits the lightning fill, it instantaneously becomes one solid piece. That it's in position, so no matter what, it wants to have a nose drop on it. Now it went from a 2-ounce bait to a 4-ounce bait. Ocean ready for fast sink, for burning it. Now you could really burn it, especially with the new Lexus Daiwa reels that bring up so much line. You could really burn this thing fast when you get on that type of bite. And then we're going to go to another part. So, okay, I had to turn off the camera for a second because I forgot to tell you, this is a warning thing. This stuff sticks really good, and it took me the last 10 minutes to try to unstick my fingers. So I actually went out and I bought some, it's called Unstick. It takes a while for the glue to break down so you can pull your fingers apart. So yeah, I just glued my fingers together to the lure, and it took about 10 minutes for me to unglue myself. So warning, this stuff works, and it works very well, and it works very quick. So as you can hear, the baits, none of the BBs are falling out of the bait. Oh, those hooks are sharp. But all the pellets are in there. This thing's locked down. With this cavity, you're looking right about, You can get this right about 4 ounces, maybe 5 ounces at the most. You're not going to be able to put too much more pellets in there. So this is a super fast sink bait. You could definitely light it up and only put an ounce in it. But the big thing now is we're going to actually plug this. So you're going to take this push fastener. What we're going to do is we're going to cut most of this arm off because I filled up the entire cavity with pellets. So this won't push down anyway. So we're just going to cut down, take about 3/4 of it off. We're just doing that to finish the hole. Now, depending on how much weight you put in this, you might have a larger cavity, and that's where that longer leg of that push fastener will not matter. So the cool thing about this now, you just take this push fastener, put in this hole, so it's a 3/16 hole. It's going to go in there flush, just like that. And now on this part of it, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the lightning bond, and I'm just going to go around very slightly around the edge of that fastener, and that's going to suck into the edges and make it completely watertight. And just remember, holding it, I always hold, when I work with this glue, I always hold my hands on the up part of the system, so when I'm pouring it, the glue doesn't run backwards and glue my hands together on the bait like I just did a few minutes ago. So let that sit for a second. You could put a kicker on there, an accelerating kicker that can cure this instantly. Also, just dropping it into water will actually cure these glues. I'm going to double check with the towel so nothing gets stuck on my fingers. There's a super weighted bait. The thing with the pin is what I do is I do visual marks. So this is a super heavy. This is 4 ounces. I know with no hole in it, it's a slow sink. If I wanted to do a 3-ounce bait, I'd actually put 1 dot to register that it's 3 ounces. For a 4-ounce bait, right by the front hook, I actually make 2 little marks, and they're just visual marks that kind of reference on my weighting system. So I put 2 dots. I know 2 dots is a 4-ounce bait. If I have 1 dot there, it's a 3-ounce bait, and with no dots at all, and I know there's no plug on top, it's a standard slow sink model. That's how easy it is to customize the SPRO BBZ-1 6-inch ocean baits. And like I said, the cool thing about it is right here, is I have to use systems that I can go bass fishing with, striper fishing with, ocean calico fishing. If I get into a big yellowtail, I can get that. Even a tuna, you know, not something super monstrous, but you know, definitely 30, 40, 50 pound range. I have no problem. I'm pairing this up with the Lexus 400, the Daiwa Zillion 801 HRB system, and with 25 pound test max. And I'm telling you, man, if I want to super slow roll it, I can do it with this reel. If I want to burn this thing in, I can do it with this reel. So I'm capable of doing freshwater and saltwater, no problem on this. So, you know, just to go over it, super fast sink, customized BBZ-1 6-inch ocean baits. Again, what you want to do, get a bait, 3/16 drill bit, drill a hole in it, take number 9 buckshot. You want to take the buckshot, fill it into your desired weight. Once you have desired weight, definitely you're going to need this stuff sometime down the road anyways. The stuff works all around the house. Killer stuff. Go get some lightning fill. The lightning fill goes in there. It goes in between all the little BBs. You take your glue, you put a couple drops of glue down in there, swish it around, make sure the bait is positioned in the angle you want it to track to go down. I like a nose down bait, especially for fast sinking baits. So if I slacken the line, the thing will just fire itself down to the bottom, hit on the drop, burning it straight up, like yo-yoing everything else. Once you have that system set up, glued, done, go get your Hillman push fasteners. I picked these up at Home Depot by the gross, so I just get a ton of them. They're really easy to do. Depending on the height and how much you fill that cavity up with lead, cut the little foot off of the push fastener, push it in, glue it, and you're ready to rock and roll. And then just make sure on the bottom you mark it so you understand. I know mine because I build them all, so I know them, and I know the weight system. You can pick them up and go, okay, that's a slow sink, fast sink, or a super fast. So hope, oh man, those hooks. Hope you guys enjoy this. Make sure you check with the BBZ TV often for more information coming this year. Like I said, I'm going to be out there testing a bunch of new rods. I have some new colors for the SPRO BBZ-1 rats coming out, so we're going to get some videos on that, and we're going to go out there and try to get on this year 2 of El Nino with some of this ocean fish out there. And definitely, if you guys catch some fish on the SPRO BBZ-1 ocean bait, send them in. We'll put them up on the website. We'll give you guys a big shout out. So hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you next time out on the water.